This highly describes the level of processes for delivery successfully. In project management, let's say we do have 4 phases that are involved in order to have a successful project. In these phases, 4 phases, we also have some steps which are being considered during those phases. And in this project lifecycle presentation, we'll be looking on those phases which are the first phase has to do with the defining or initiation project lifecycle. The second phase has to do with planning. Then the third phase has to do with execution. The fourth phase has to do with the closure. To begin with, the first phase of a project lifecycle, it has to do with defining or initiation. First, you need to identify a need, a business need, or a problem or opportunity, and brainstorm ways that your team can meet this need. During this step, you also figure out the objectives. You also figure out an objective for your project, determine whether the project is feasible, and identify the major deliverables of the project. In this phase of defining and initiation, there are some steps that have to be followed for easy working definition of this phase of the project cycle, whereby it has to do with understanding the feasibility study, which has to do with identifying the primary problem of your project, identifying the primary of your project which you will solve, or whether your project will deliver a solution to that problem. You also have to identify scope, whereby you define the depth and the depth of the project. You also have to identify deliverables, where you define the product or service to be provided. You also have to identify the stakeholders. Someone also talked about this. Stakeholders. You also have to identify stakeholders, where you figure out whom the project affects and what their needs and what they need. Their needs may also involve. You can also identify the deliverables and you can also develop a statement of work, where you document the project's objectives, scopes, and deliverables, and you have to identify previously as a working agreement between the project owners and those working on the project. On the second phase, which has to do with planning, this is done once you have been given, you have been approved. in the planning phase, you mostly focus on creating a project plan where you identify the project timeline. You also include the phase of the project, the tasks to be performed, and possible constraints, creating workflow diagrams. Like, for example, last time we were told how a Gantt chart is made. That's in the project life table that comes on the project planning. I'll be fast because I don't have much time. And on the third phase, the execution phase. This is where you turn your plans now to action. After done the planning phase, now you come up with those plans and turn them to action. In this execution phase, it mostly focuses on creating tasks and organizing workflows. As a project manager, you have to assign granular aspects of the project to the appropriate team members. Make sure your team members are not overworked. Also, you can also brief team members on tasks where